Happy Friday, everybody. It is another rendition of the Regular Fan Show, hosted by the fans, for the fans, with your hosts, Vinny Fredericks and Bruce Juno. I feel like my chair is a little high. Let me just adjust a little bit here. Now we're talking. Good morning, everybody. We got plenty to talk about with you today. Lots of college
Mine's as low as
hoops,
it goes.
some NBA. Bruce's chair is as low as it goes, but without further ado, Mr. Bruce Juno, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. I just wanted to let the people know this is what happens when you click the bell. That's what happens right
You
there.
click the
I'm
bell, you
doing
get the
well.
notifications.
Exactly.
That's what
Had
it's all
to
about.
shout out ourselves for ourselves. But yeah, we're doing good out here. It's Friday frenzy. We're living,
Yes,
laughing,
sir.
loving. We're lots of sports going on. It's March, obviously college hoops. If you're
Mm-hmm.
watching NBA over college hoops right now, like Vinny probably is, you should
What is
switch.
that supposed to mean? What does that mean? I'm gonna watch.
Anyway,
Of course, I'm gonna watch college hoops over NBA hoops when it's the actual tournaments. But I'm not gonna sit here and watch the Sun Valley quarterfinals when there's NBA on.
the Sun
When we
Valley.
get to
What
like
is
the
that, D3?
Sun Belt. Sorry.
Hey man, yo, I was watching. I,
Uh,
I was watching lots of games yesterday. I watched the Indiana State game.
I know you could probably tell us who was playing who in all of the conference
Yeah,
tournaments
we don't
yesterday,
want
huh?
to talk about that. I was watching the Indiana State game. I watched a little bit of the Pacific game, and then I had
Okay.
to like
Okay.
actually do work. Um,
Good for
but
you.
yeah,
Good for you.
yeah. Obviously. I swear. Anyway, now lots of college hoops. Obviously, it's college hoops season. March is like the best month I think for sports because college hoops. Obviously, you have
Of course.
okay, debatably one of the best ones. Whatever.
It's up there. It is one of the best.
NBA is running down to the
Yep.
playoffs. Um, NHL is running down to the playoffs.
You got
When's the
MLB spring
Masters?
training. Oh, I
MLB
have no
spring
idea.
training
If
is
you
the
want to talk
Masters.
about golf, I'll sign off right now. I don't know anything
The
about golf.
Masters. When is it? Oh, it's right after. I knew it was like close to
Oh,
March
it's in April.
Madness. It's
Okay.
April 7th.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so the Masters is right around the corner. There's a lot going on. I saw
You
I
got
saw
the
a video
NFL
one
draft
time.
coming up.
Exactly. The combine, the combine.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video one time. It was like this girl trying to plan like dates with with her man, and he's like, we got to work around the schedule. So she's like, well, okay, March Madness is over, like, and then he has a massive like year calendar.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, but next weekend's the Masters, and then after that it's like there's something every week, and
Uh,
that's why if you don't like sports, you gotta like sports. There's no reason not to like sports. You're weird if you do like
well,
sport, or if you don't
unless
like sport.
unless you're one of those girlfriends who's trying to plan around all the sports,
Yeah, I feel
then I could
bad for them.
understand.
Yo, kudos goes out to all those. Kudos goes out to Anna. Shout out my girlfriend for having to plan around that. I'm assuming shout out Tori as well.
Yeah, shout out Tori as well. She
I'm
gets
gonna
it. She
I'm
gets
gonna
it.
go out on a whim here and say shout out Tori.
Yeah, no, Tori gets it, and of course gets it as well. It's the job too. That's one thing that credit to Tori's dad. He always says he's like, tell her you're watching for work. But, it's your job to watch
Yo,
these games and
facts.
to be well informed on what's going on in these games. So you're just doing your job.
I'm gonna start using that. I think that's what I'm gonna have to start doing because
Yeah, we're
you
just on
know
our grind. That's all.
exactly. This will one day when we're you know popular.
When we're
One
we're
day when we're
popular.
cooking, they're gonna be like, "Oh, those sports paid off," and we're gonna be like, "Yeah, they did. They did." See what happens when you watch sports?
No. Next step. Next step, like Dean says, get the pod on Spotify. Yeah, I can do that. I got to figure out a way to save these streamed episodes without having to literally rewatch them the full hour and screen record the whole thing. Once I figure out a way to download the episodes without having to do all that, I'm uploading them on Spotify and everything. But we'll
I'm gonna check something and really hope that it doesn't crash.
maybe we'll figure it out right now. But I got to figure that out this weekend, and then we'll get. I didn't realize until like last week that Spotify podcast actually. Yes, Bruce.
Thanks, Teach. I have a way to download the
All
raw.
right, so we're good.
Yeah.
We'll get them up on Spotify soon. I gotta create the podcast on RSS.
I don't know how to do any of that.
I didn't
run the
realize
video
that.
side. You can run the audio side.
I didn't realize that Spotify had actual like video podcasts too. Like I thought Spotify was still just strictly audio, but I was talking to a member of the UAlbany basketball team last week working at the station, and he's telling me about his podcast, and they got the videos on Spotify and everything. So I guess Spotify, you can watch podcasts now. So that's something I'm gonna start doing for us once we get into next
with
week.
Audio first. You know, we should entice both audiences.
Well, I think they have the option of doing both on
audio.
Spotify.
Or
I don't know.
video?
We'll look into it. We'll figure this all out. We'll figure it out. Just like the LA Lakers figured it out last night against the New York Knicks. We'll start there, dive into college hoops after going over the NBA slate. Big game of the night, obviously, Knicks Lakers. Well, thank you, Dean. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Knicks Lakers go to overtime in what is honestly probably one of the better regular season games of the season so far. Jalen Brunson had 39, 10 assists. LeBron, of course, 31, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Luka with 32 and 12 assists, 7 rebounds. This Lakers team, Bruce, they are cooking right now. They're all the way up to 40-21. They have won 8 straight games, and they currently, let's see, where's the standings on here? Where are the good old standings at? They currently sit second in the Western Conference. Probably not going to get the 1 seed considering they're 10.5 games back from Oklahoma City, but still. Do this Luka and LeBron Lakers team, do they actually have a chance at the NBA championship this year? I think they might.
I mean, I don't see why they don't. Like bringing in Luka to. I mean, they're already a good team. Don't get me wrong. Like the Lakers, I know they weren't having the best run of form as of before the Luka trade, but bringing in Luka just makes it all the more.
The thing that I
definitely
can't
a playoff
understand.
Team.
Well, yeah, of course. We knew they were going to be a playoff team anyway. The thing that I can't get over is the fact that they struggled very much on defense with Anthony Davis. And then they trade away one of the best defensive big men in the NBA. Don't get a center back. That was my big thing with this Lakers team after trading away AD, and you don't get the Mark Williams trade because that gets rescinded. You don't have a center. Jackson Hayes is your starting center, and apparently he has become prime Shaquille O'Neal since Luka Doncic has been traded to the Lakers. So something flipped as soon as the trade deadline passed, and now the Lakers have the best defense in the NBA, which I don't understand. I've tried, Bruce, I've tried to understand how it's possible that they could go from one of the worst defenses and then trade Anthony Davis and become one of the best, but it's happened. And that's a big factor in their success since acquiring Luka. So the Lakers are 9-2 since he's made his debut, winners of 8 straight. And yeah, this Lakers team, they're certainly looking like they have a chance. I think Oklahoma City is still going to be tough to beat, but this isn't what I expected.
They lost since bringing in Luka?
They're 9-2.
Okay.
They went 1-2 their first 3 and have since won 8 straight games. So more ridiculous stuff from the Lakers. And honestly, I feel like LeBron has what's the word I'm looking for here? LeBron has benefited from Luka just as much as, the rest of the team. Like LeBron's averages since getting Luka, I don't have them the exact averages in front of me, but in just this 8-game win streak, let's see, last game he had 31. Before that, he had 34, 8 and 6. Had 17, 9 and 5 against the Clippers, 28, 13-3 against the Clippers the game before. 33, 27, 25. Had a 40-point game against Portland. LeBron has basically turned back the clock. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Only lost 11 in the last 2.5 months.
yeah. He's hit 50K. You know,
He is first in history.
he's proved like it doesn't look like he's regressing anytime soon. It doesn't matter how old he gets, which is
He played
kind of
44
crazy.
minutes. 44
Like,
minutes at 40 years old from LeBron
Yeah.
James.
It's crazy stuff to see.
I honestly hope the
but-
Lakers won it all. I won't even lie. I really hope they do. Just because I feel like LeBron, I feel like he deserves one last go at things, even if they lose.
One
He
last
deserves
hurrah.
one last run. Yeah, one last hurrah before, who knows? We're getting to the point that we don't know what's happening with LeBron anymore. He might retire after this year. He might retire after next year. He's pretty much he's accomplished everything that I think he could have set out to accomplish. He won championships, made himself arguably the greatest player of all time, got to play in a game with his son. What more could LeBron even accomplish?
That's the wild part. Like he's playing with his son is what's crazy.
Yep. Something
that
that
man's...
you see it in baseball sometimes. Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr.
Excuse me.
Oh, who else? There was another father-son duo that played in the MLB. But regardless, in the NBA, it's typically not. It's just not feasible. You're not going to be able to play long enough in the NBA to be able to play with your son, unless you have your son at like 16 years old or something. But LeBron James has done the impossible. No surprises here. And yeah, the Lakers continue to dominate as of late. The Knicks, I don't really know what to feel about the Knicks here, Bruce. They lost their last two. They're still the fourth best team in the NBA, but as the season goes on and the Knicks continue to lose to teams in the top two or top three in the standings, I continue to wonder if the Knicks have what it takes to beat the good teams come playoff time. If you can't win a single game against the Thunder, Cavs, Celtics, or Lakers all year long, how are you going to beat any of these teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the last season was kind of the season for the Knicks to try to make a run at it. Not that I'm saying they're going to fall off or that they're falling off or whatnot, but I think they do need to make some minor changes if they want to get to that next step. I mean, mind you, they do have the long-term playoff experience when it does come to the playoffs, but I don't know. I don't think they have what it takes to get to the finals.
No,
and compete
not
for
right
a
now.
finals. I think that they'll need to make some minor adjustments if they want to get that far.
Yeah, I really wanted to see them do more at the deadline because that the Knicks, they have one of the best starting fives in the NBA. They went out and tried to bring in talent and Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns in the offseason, and he thought, hey, the Knicks all of a sudden have two of the best wing defenders in the NBA. Great point guard in Jalen Brunson, one of the best centers in the NBA in Karl Anthony Towns. But what else? They don't have a bench. They don't have a sixth man. They don't have anybody to turn to when one of these guys goes down. They don't have anybody to turn to if one of these guys is having an off night. All these guys are playing 40-plus minutes almost on any given night. This game went to overtime, granted, but still, all five starters played 40-plus minutes. Even Cat, who was 3 of 13 and had 12 points. Mikal Bridges only had 6 points. OG Anunoby shot 4 for 11 from deep. Some of these guys struggled a little bit. And they still played 40-plus minutes because you refuse to play guys like DeLon Wright, who you just got at the trade deadline. Look, I don't care that you don't want to play DeLon Wright. The dude's a defensive freak. All right, he might only average 2 points a game, but he'll guard any team's best player. So why can't you slide him in when Mikal Bridges needs, a game off or some time on the bench? Why can't you slide him in for OG Anunoby? Why aren't you sliding in Precious Achiuwa for Cat for a few possessions here and there? Tibbs is just running these guys into the dirt.
Yeah. That's the thing. When it comes to long seasons, like obviously NBA is a long season, most seasons are for their respective sports, but especially when it comes to NBA, when it comes to NHL, like those games, they're playing 82 games. And when you're running guys with no real anything off the bench, mind you, maybe
Hmm.
5 or 6 minutes here and there, but you're
They
still
get maybe
running over.
15, 20 minutes from Deuce McBride. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. When you're running guys for 30, 35 minutes a game, even 40 minutes a game, and then throw in some overtimes here and there, they're playing games, if not every night, every other night for the most
Yep.
part.
At
It's
least one every 3 days.
I'm not a doctor, but human nature, you're gonna get burnt.
You're going to get fatigued at some point.
So I mean, who really knows?
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the thing. We don't
it's
know. You don't know what's
like
going to happen. But yeah,
we can get a doctor on the old pod if you want at some point. But that's honestly probably wouldn't be a bad shout. But I don't really know any doctors, so.
I'll see what I
But
can do. I might
yeah, I was
know a
gonna
couple.
say maybe I'll find a doctor somewhere who's down to talk about athleticism and fatigue
Yep. Because it's something.
because it's a
So
big part
I
of.
feel like the Knicks at this point in the season, they've beat up on the bad teams, but they haven't shown me that they can handle any of the tough guys. So they're the fifth best team in the NBA now. Since this loss, they've dropped down to 5, and they're 40-22 on the year, but 0-9 against Cleveland, OKC, Boston, and Lakers, who are the 4 teams ahead of them.
Yeah,
That tells me all I need to see, because you see one of those teams in a 7-game series, I don't feel very confident in the New York Knicks.
exactly. So I mean, yeah, it's gonna come down to playoffs, and I mean, when you really think about it, what team do they maybe have more experience out of the 4 teams that you're discussing? What team do they potentially have more experience than? OKC. But OKC
About it, maybe
is just
Cleveland.
I don't think so. With Dame,
That's Milwaukee.
would not
Thinking of
not
Donovan
Damian
Mitchell.
Lillard. Yeah, I meant Donovan Mitchell. And who's the other? Garland. Darius Garland.
Darius Garland.
That's
Yeah,
what I
like the
meant. That's what I
The
meant.
Cavs
That's what I
just
meant.
a lot of those
Don't
guys
yell
haven't
at
had.
me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A lot of those guys haven't had deep playoff runs, which I guess a lot of those guys on the
But
Knicks haven't either.
they have so many years in the league, and they've made the playoffs. At least in my knowledge, you're
Oh
looking
yeah,
at
they
me
have.
like I'm talking out of my ass.
No, you're not talking out of your ass. I guess it's just hard to say because both of them, specifically, I mean, I guess Thunder, Cavs, and Knicks are really the only teams. Lakers and Boston, we know they have plenty of experience. All their best players have been to the finals multiple times.
Yeah.
But the Knicks and the Thunder and the
Well,
Cavs,
Luka,
I
no.
mean,
I mean, I guess Luka has made it to the final.
hey, he
Has he
made it.
made
He
it to
made
the
it to
final
one.
multiple times? I was about to
No,
say it's
just
only
the
been
one.
once, right?
He's been to multiple conference finals, but I mean, you got
Yeah.
LeBron James, you got experience on your side, no matter who else is out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly.
But the Knicks, I mean, Jalen Brunson, Cat, yeah, the T-Wolves didn't make the conference finals. No, they did. They made the conference finals last year, lost to Dallas. Okay, so Cats played in one conference finals, absolutely stunk it up in that conference finals, played awful. Mikal Bridges hasn't seen one. Jalen Brunson hasn't seen past the second round. Who am I forgetting? OG Anunoby hasn't seen past the second round. So the Knicks really don't have that deep, and I mean deep run playoff experience that they might need. I mean, Jalen Brunson saw some with the Mavericks, but still they didn't make it. They might have made the conference finals once with Jalen when he was playing with Luka, but either way, the experience is not on their side. And same with the Cavs. Donovan's never seen a conference finals. Neither is Darius Garland, I think. Certainly not Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So none of these guys have seen the conference finals before.
Yeah.
And one of those 2 teams, I mean, Boston's going to make the conference finals. The other one's going to be, the other one's going to have to be, the other one's going to have to be Cleveland because Cleveland wouldn't face New York unless New York beat Boston. So either way, if Boston faces both New York and Cleveland, I'm giving the edge to Boston because they have that playoff experience over them. Now, yes, they might have a championship hangover, but I still don't necessarily see how, Cleveland or New York, when it comes to experience, is going to outmatch Boston. But I will say right now, Cleveland is far and away the best team in the East, and they've been showing that every single night. It just depends on if the playoff experience is going to catch up to them.
Fair enough.
Sorry, did you have a point or?
No, you kind of. I had one, and then I had one, and then you kind of touched on it there. So I was like, all right, well, we'll just agree with you real quick and move on.
Well, moving on, your Celtics won against the hospital squad Philadelphia 76ers. No surprise there.
It was a good win, I mean,
Tatum at 35.
The Sixers haven't really they're pretty mid.
No, the Sixers are garbage. I said it on, when did I say it, on Tuesday? I think Tuesday. Yeah. Philadelphia sucks.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is just awful. Atlanta beat the Pacers. The Bulls beat the Magic by 2. Kobe White, career high 44 points. Warriors make a comeback against the Brooklyn Nets behind Steph Curry's 40 points. Houston Rockets beat the New Orleans Pelicans by 12. Nothing too crazy there. Zion Williamson is actually playing again, which is nice to see. He had an alright game, 20 and 10, but it's just good to see Zion actually out there and somewhat staying healthy.
I mean, it's it's weird, honestly, because he hasn't his whole career. He's either been hurt or he's been lazy, and he's finally, I guess, deciding he doesn't want to be lazy anymore. You can't really adjust the hurt part. That kind of comes with the times.
Well, it comes with his weight too. If he slimmed down sooner, maybe he wouldn't have been getting injured so much.
Yeah, and that's another thing is he really he's changing who he is, and that's that could be good for the Pels.
Yeah, I know the Pelicans are still trash, but I still enjoy watching their games just because every time Zion's on the floor, you never know when a highlight reel play is going to happen. So even though the Pelicans stink, I still like watching them just because when Zion's out there, it's entertaining stuff. Now, we'll see what they can do in the offseason to try to bring in Zion some help, or maybe Zion's out. Who knows what's going to happen there? But at the end of the day, seeing Zion Williamson on the basketball court is good for the NBA, no matter what team he's playing for.
Yeah.
But anyways, we continue. In the NBA, nothing too crazy for games tonight. Grizzlies, Mavericks. Well, the Mavericks don't have anybody now, so that's not really that good of a game. Heat, T-Wolves. Suns, Nuggets. Durant, Jokic could be a good game. Knicks, Clippers at 10:30. That should be a good one, as Harden's coming off his 50-point performance. But that rounds things out around the NBA. Bruce, it's March, so it's only.
I was about to say, I started this podcast out by saying if it's in March and you're watching college and you're watching the NBA over college, you shouldn't be. And I was like, probably Vinny. It looks like Vinny proved me right.
You want to take it from here? Go ahead. This is your segment. Go ahead. You're the college basketball host.
Yeah. College hoops.
Sorry, Jalen Brunson got hurt yesterday too. Forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot you watch NBA over college basketball.
I'm not watching the Sun Belt tournament. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fair. I'll stop.
I'm not watching the OVC conference tournament.
I'll tell you.
No disrespect to the teams in the OVC or the Sun Belt, but
you're telling me you're not going to watch March Madness?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch March Madness, but I'm not watching the
Madness.
Arch. No, I'm not watching Arch Madness.
The MVC tournament.
I'll watch the championships of the conference tournaments. I'm not watching the quarterfinals where they got to win 6 straight games just to get to the championship.
Okay, that's just a couple of them. But anyway, so yeah, we had plenty of college hoops action have been taking place all throughout the start of March, obviously building up to the big madness that will entice us in just a few weeks. Couple tournaments kicking off and underway already as we go down the list here. we made our picks yesterday, Vinny. We made some picks.
Some of us did better than others.
Yeah, that's what I say. One of us did better than the other one of us because one of us isn't boring. But anyway, so Southern Illinois played Indiana State. We both took Indiana State. Southern Illinois won. This was I'm gonna go out on a whim here. This was our warm up. This was our warm up. As
Yeah.
today, we will start
Making real picks.
I feel like it's like a hair dangling in my eyeball. It's stuck in my head. Whoa. Anyway, we today will be we'll start tracking our picks, and we'll see who comes out on top in let's say before like March. Obviously, March Madness, we're gonna have our own thing.
Yeah, we'll have our own bracket and stuff. But until the March tournament bracket is made, we'll see how we do in the conference tournaments.
Yeah, we're gonna make our picks in the conference tournaments. I'd say we can make our picks as to who we think is gonna win conference tournaments, but that's a lot of work.
We'll do that when we get to the championship and we're picking those games.
Yeah, exactly. So our warm-up show.
Let the record show I won the warm-ups.
Yeah, you did win the warm-ups. We'll give you a shout out. We'll give you a shout out, Vinny. Shout out, Vinny Fredericks.
Shout out to Valparaiso.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, Vinny kind of clapped me yesterday. So we both took Indiana State. They fell to Southern Illinois. We both took Illinois State. They beat Missouri State. We both took Pacific. They fell to San Diego.
Did telling I take Pacific too?
Yeah, we both took because you said the Tigers. Remember? And I was like,
I didn't know they were the Tigers. You said that.
I was like, yeah, I know, but you said it after I said they're the Tigers.
No, I believe you. All right,
I was like, remember, I was like, I want to take the Toreros because they have a sick name, but then I didn't. So we both took the Pacific. They lost to San Diego. We both took Georgia Southern. They lost to Georgia State. We both took Little Rock. They beat UT Martin. Both took Omaha. They beat Kansas City. You took Murray State. I took Evansville because Murray State always defeats whatever I pick. And so they proceeded to continue with that trend, and they absolutely destroyed Evansville by 21.
Yep.
Bucknell, both of us, they beat Loyola Maryland barely. They barely beat Loyola Maryland. You took Navy. They topped Boston U. I took the Terriers. Colgate, 30-point dub for both of us from the Raiders. Mm-hmm. American, both of us at the top Lafayette. The Penguins from Youngstown State absolutely lived it up for the boys in the regular fan show.
Of course.
North Alabama, they took home the old Dubsky for the lads. In the semifinal of the ASUN, mind you, we're the ASUN's already in the semifinal.
Which means we got championships picked soon.
We got championships to pick soon. Robert Morris, we both took. They smacked Wright State because Wright State's just like Murray State. They never want to win for me, and this time they didn't disappoint. And Robert Morris took home the win. You took Cleveland State. I took NKU. Cleveland State won. We both took Milwaukee. Milwaukee and Oakland without Jack Golke beat Milwaukee. And the other side of the semifinal of the ASUN, Lipscomb will be facing off against North Alabama. As I took Queens, you took Lipscomb, I took Queens. Queens was my sleeper throughout the tournament. I could not ride with them. We both took Texas State. They fell to ODU, the Monarchs from Old Dominion. Knocked off Texas State, the Bobcats. In their second game in a row in their like V-shaped bracket.
True.
So they're the first ones to win 2 straight. In the OVC, we both took Lindenwood. They kind of got smacked by Tennessee State. St. Thomas, Minnesota. They took down Denver. Sorry to I'm blanking on his name. Shoot. The best
our friends in Denver.
No, I was gonna say the best scorer in the Tommy Bruner. Shout out Tommy Bruner. Unfortunately, the Pioneers did not win for you. And then UIC, the Flames, absolutely put up the most disappointing game of basketball I have seen in a very long time as they fell to Valparaiso.
Which I picked.
So, which you took
I
Valparaiso
picked
because
them.
you mispronounced their name and then apologized. So,
No, it was actually because I didn't know that they.
You want me to run the clip? I'll run the clip, Vinny.
Go ahead. I pronounced it wrong, and then I didn't know that even existed. So I was like, you know what? My apologies. Didn't mean to disrespect. I'll pick you guys, and then hey, they got the dub.
Yeah,
It's not about why you pick the teams. It's about, do you pick the winning teams? And yesterday I picked the winning teams.
Yeah, so you win the warm-ups, but today is where we go in to actually before we make our prime introduction.
I believe there's something you have to tell people about.
Hold on.
Or do you want me to tell the people? I don't know what you're doing over there, but you look busy. I'm hoping that it's something of the utmost importance.
Oh, I forgot I had something for work right now.
What do you mean? This is your work.
I know.
All right, so while Bruce gets yelled at by his boss, I'll tell everybody about W Energy. This great energy powder, no sugar, no artificial flavors and sweeteners. W.gg is their website. Go check it out. A bunch of different flavors and products for you to use. I got it pulled up right now. You can go with the sampler pack. That'll send you 3 different flavored energy powders with a shaker bottle. You can get, the Hydro Sampler Pack with 6 caffeine-free drinks ready to be made at any given time. They got, if you find a flavor that you like, they got little tubs of the flavor. It's a powder. You throw it in your water, shake it up, and you get this amazing, flavorful explosion in your mouth while giving you energy, whether it's for gaming, if you're on 2K, Minecraft, Fortnite, whatever you're playing, you're playing with the boys, and you're starting to get tired. The boys want to run one more, but you're falling asleep. Get yourself some W Energy. It'll keep you going, whether you're at the gym trying to hit that new PR, you're at work trying to grind through the day because your boss is just laying you with project after project after project. W Energy got your back. W.gg is their website. Check out their products and their different flavors and everything. They got merch. They got it all on W.gg. And when you do, use code RFS at checkout. Get yourself 10% off on your order, whether you're getting the Japanese soda flavor or if you're getting the blueberry, the pomegranate, the push and punch. I'm telling you guys, check out all the flavors they got because you will not be disappointed. And if you can't decide, go with the mystery bundle. Mystery flavor, mystery shaker bottle. Boom. 10% off when you use code RFS at checkout. That's W.gg for whether it's gaming, sports, the gym, regular job, regular fans, whatever you may be. Check out W.gg, code RFS at checkout. Saves you 10%. Did you figure out your work thing, Bruce? Do you need to go?
I guess. No, it's too late now. It started 5 minutes ago. So I appreciate you doing that. Whoops.
It's okay. That happens.
Yeah, stuff happens. All right, we'll move to today's slate of college basketball. Whoops.
You're thrown off, right? You're thrown off.
Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that for the rest of the podcast now because I completely forgot. I just lost track of what day it was, and I missed a presser for a team that I cover.
Yeah, these things happen.
Yeah, unfortunate situations.
Do you need to go take care of your presser?
Guy. Oops. All right.
Well, we only got to go about 5 more minutes before.
What is happening?
All right, now Bruce can't hear me. Well, I hope you all can hear me because in about 5 minutes, in about 5 minutes, we will be joined by one of our favorite guests to have on the
Why?
show.
Oh no. Oh no. I can't get
I
you back.
really hope you
Still can't
guys can
you.
hear me.
What in the world? Keep talking.
While Bruce might not be able to
They
hear
can
me
hear you. I just
in
can't
about.
hear you.
All right, so that's fine. I'm going to keep on talking then. In 5 minutes, one of our favorite guests to have on the show, Frankie Cacciardo, hockey NHL extraordinaire, will be joining us next as me and Bruce were supposed to be giving our picks on today's conference tournament games and keeping track of our picks today so that now when Bruce wins, he'll have evidence, but
Sorry
looks like
people of the internet.
Looks like we won't be able to do our picks just yet as Bruce works through our technical difficulties. But yeah, in just about 5 minutes, Frankie Cacciardo, hockey expert, will join us talking about some of the big trades going around the NHL as the trade deadline is approaching. And we'll check in on some of our teams, on my Islanders, on Bruce's. I think he's a Canadiens fan. I'm assuming he's a Canadiens fan. I'm honestly not sure. You are a Canadiens fan, right? All right, I guess he still can't hear me. Bruce is looking a little frozen over there. Still working on things. This is live podcasting. This stuff happens. So while Bruce continues to do that, we'll take a quick look at the bracketology report, the most recent bracketology that came out. As every time Bruce looks at me and smiles, I think that he's starting to hear me, but I guess not. So good luck to Bruce as he continues to try to figure this stuff out. The latest bracketology by Joe Lunardi, posted by ESPN. Not new, but still the top overall seed, Auburn. First team out, Oklahoma. Last team in, Xavier. Let's check out
Shout
who
out
is
Vinny
on
for
the
holding
bubble.
it on the fort right now. Because I can't.
I don't know if you guys could hear Bruce, but he's
my whole computer's having a stroke right now.
So hey, technical difficulties, computer shutdowns, these things happen. But on the bubble right now in the bracketology report from Joe Lunardi, the last 4 buys getting in is Utah State, Georgia, Ohio State, and Arkansas. John Calipari led Arkansas Razorbacks with a chance in the tournament. It'd be quite interesting if we saw Calipari face off against Kentucky in March Madness. That'd be a sight to see. I'm pretty sure Arkansas and Calipari beat Kentucky earlier this season. As I deeply apologize for Bruce and the technical difficulties. We're working on it the best we can, I promise. The last 4 teams.
That's crazy. Can I still hear myself?
So Bruce is watching us on TikTok right now. That's why you're hearing the echo.
Bro, this is actually wild. Like
for March Madness,
it's all run through my computer, right? And you are perfectly fine on stream, but I'm just not.
So for those that can't hear Bruce, we run everything through his computer, the stream, the TikTok. It's all live through his computer. I just join on mine. And the fact that he's gone, I can hear him. You guys can't hear him, I'm assuming. I'm still going perfectly fine, but he's having all these difficulties. It's kind of comical.
That they can hear you. They can hear me. They can hear me.
Oh, so they can hear Bruce. They just Bruce can't hear me. So everybody is hearing everything just fine except for Bruce, who can't hear me. So we'll try and continue the best we can. Looking back at the bracketology, the last 4 teams in, according to the bubble, we've got San Diego State, Indiana, Boise State, and Xavier as the last 4 in. Bruce might be able to hear me now. We might have some good news. I can never tell by his facial expressions. It looks like he can't. No, he still can't. Right.
No, I can. I can hear you.
Oh, welcome back.
I mean, everything's glitching out for me, but
Even you're
We're
kind of
gonna.
glitching out. You're freezing every like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna touch anything now. I'm just gonna leave it be.
So are we canceling our 11:40 guest because we don't want to mess with anything now?
No, you can still come. You can still come.
Okay.
I already sent them the link.
All right. So real quick before we get to that, to close off the bracketology talk, first four out. Oklahoma, thank goodness they do not deserve to be in March Madness. North Carolina, Texas, and Nebraska. Would love to see the Cornhuskers find their way as one of the last four in, but probably not. Next four out after those four: Colorado State, Cincinnati, SMU, and Wake Forest. As the bracket watch and the bracketology, always fun to look at and see where things are lining up as conference tournaments are underway. The 4-1 seeds right now, according to Joe Lunardi, we've got Auburn, Duke, Florida, and Houston rounding out the 1 seeds. The 2 seeds being Texas Tech, Tennessee, Alabama, and Michigan State. Finally, the 3 seeds, you got St. John's, Iowa State, Texas A&M, and Wisconsin. Interesting picks for the number 3s, but that's where we're looking right now. And Bruce, it looks like right now the winner of the America East would be playing Texas Tech in the west side of the bracket, which would be interesting. I think whoever wins the America East could certainly get Texas Tech. Probably going to be Bryant or UVM, but hey.
We'll have to wait and see.
Could be a potential America East upset in the round of 64. I know we're hoping so.
That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. No, dude, everything's going wrong for me today. Holy.
You're back.
Holy.
But you're back. You made it.
I know. I am back. It's just.
Okay. It's all right. These things happen. These things do happen.
I'm trying to drag this so I can get something prepared. Wow. Everything is absolutely just running on
This is why we need
5 FPS right now.
This is why we need to get a warehouse, get some good Ethernet. We need to get our own full-time. We need our own full-time producer that'll just do all this stuff for us.
But without further ado,
we've got him.
Adieu. We have to welcome somebody who you've seen before. He is the hockey aficionado. He is the man that knows all about Chell. He is the 7'6" man.
7'6".
Frankie Cacciardo.
6'7". Hey, what's up?
What's good, Frank?
How's it going,
What's
guys?
up, Frankie?
What's up?
Good, man. Hey, appreciate you. Good.
Yeah, of course. I'm not fresh out of bed this time.
I'm not waking you up with a phone call.
Yeah, and I was at parent-teacher conferences.
How'd those go?
That
was good, man.
That's all you can ask for.
Gotta love it.
So
all right, well, we'll dive into some hockey here, Frankie. We'll be done interrogating you on your parent-teacher conferences.
I love it.
Well, Frankie, as many people know, I'm not the most adverse when it comes to hockey. So I've seen that there's some trades going on.
Yeah, today's the trade deadline, man.
Yeah, don't really know who most of these names are or what they mean for these new teams. So what are some of these trades that have been going down at the deadline here, and what do they mean for the rest of the season?
Well, we got just now Penguins traded Beauvillier to, I don't know, it just happened, but that's a decent one. He's been kind of, mid the last couple of years. He's a decent, he'll probably go to a playoff team. That's whatever. Brock Nelson got traded last night, which is crazy. He's been an Islander for his entire career.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that shows how much of an Islander fan I am.
Yeah, man. He got traded last night to Colorado? Yeah, Colorado. So Colorado's stacking up. Colorado got Jimmy Vesey from the Rangers, Ryan Lindgren from the Rangers, who's not having a good year. They got Brock Nelson. I'm pretty sure they got someone else too, but they're looking like they're trying to, piece playoff pieces together to go on an absolute cup run this year. Because, Martin Necas has worked out really well for them. The Hurricanes are shopping Mikko Rantanen really hard right now. So, that could be really interesting to see what's up with that. He could go anywhere.
That's what I was going to ask.
I'm hearing Dallas right now, which would be dirty because I think he fits better into Dallas's offense first style than Carolina's defense first style. Because, he's he did well with Cale Makar as, a puck-moving defenseman and not, like Jacob Slavin, who's going to stay back at the goal line and not move the puck up. But yeah, no, these trades are crazy. The Rangers traded away Riley Smith too, who was like a preseason acquisition, which was pretty big. They got Brendan Brisson from him. He's on Vegas. He's okay, but his dad is Jack Eichel's agent, so I'll be a little conspiracy theorist for the Rangers here for a minute and say that we're about to cop Jack Eichel, but I don't think it'll happen. But the trades are crazy. I can't wait to see what else happens today.
And that's what I was gonna ask. So you think Mikko? You think the Stars would be the place for him?
I don't know if that's the place. That's like kind of the one thing I heard. I haven't really been looking a lot today.
But I'm saying, would that be like
that would be a really good spot for him? And I know they're trying to go on a playoff run, and they have a really good young, fast team that I think Mikko would absolutely slide right into like the top 6. Maybe drop one of like their older guys down to like bottom 6 or something like that. I think it's pretty good. Also, one big trade that I didn't mention was Yanni Gordon. Oliver Bjorkstrand got traded from Seattle to Tampa. Am I right?
I think I did see that.
Let me look it up, bud.
I mean, I'm not the guy to tell you that you're right.
I'm a bad hockey expert right now. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Yes. It was to Tampa, and that's big. Those are 2 really good players. Tampa did not have to give up. I mean, they give up like a first-round draft pick, I'm pretty sure, but like they're looking to go on a run too, and those are 2 like really good big players that'll help them out.
So, Frankie, tell me more about this Brock Nelson trade away from the Islanders, because you mentioned he's been an Islander for a long time. Yeah, he's one of the few names that I know on the Islanders, a member of the Team USA for the Four Nations face-off. Yes, so what exactly does this trade mean for the Isles? What are they getting back? Are they pretty much saying that this season a wrap and they're looking ahead to next year?
Their season's a wrap. They're looking more or less like rebuild, honestly, because like the Islanders they like kind of have the same story every season. They're a bit high on their team preseason. They're like, oh dude, the young guys are gonna go crazy this year, and then like about this point in the season they're like usually like bottom 3 in the Metro, and they're like, well, like every Islanders fan hates their life. So it's like honestly like Brock Nelson is just like he was a career Islander. It was sad. They'll probably I don't know if they'll retire his number, but he was a career Islander, and it's more or less just he's old. He didn't have a good Four Nations showing at all, and they're just kind of trying to get value for him while he still has value. And just try to build up a team with picks and just younger prospects to kind of get to enter a new era of Islanders hockey. Kind of try to rebuild for the 5th time.
For the multiple time on the multiple chance.
Yeah, as a Rangers fan, I shouldn't feel bad for him, but I kind of do.
I mean, it's a franchise player, so I mean, it's like it's someone you've seen,
of course, and he's going to be
it's a name I know.
Of course, yeah. I mean, he's been a career Islander. He's been staple in the Islanders roster forever, but I think he's going to be good on Colorado. I don't think he's going to be a 100%. Game changer per se, but I think he'll be a decent bottom 6 guy that'll just help them go on their playoff run.
And taking a look at how the season's shaped up so far, I know we were talking about it, whether it be the other day or whatnot. We'll start with the East. Yeah. The playoff push for the East.
We were talking about this last night. We've been you and I have been high on it. We hate each other right now.
The bottom, not the bottom, but first in the wild card to 8th in the wild card race are separated by 6 points.
6 points, dude.
8 teams fighting for 2 spots. What are your thoughts over there, guy?
Oh, I mean,
what are your non-biased opinions on
my non-biased opinions? I think it's going to be an awesome race, and it's going to be probably more exciting than last year. I mean, for the sake of both of us, if I were to pick 2 teams, it would be the Rangers and the Canadians, obviously. But I'm actively rooting for you to lose every night, so the Rangers can slide into that wild card spot easy. We're still fighting with the Devils, but unbiased opinion, I think the Blue Jackets have a really decent shot this year. They've been playing excellent. They've been consistently in that wild card spot for a while. I think Ottawa, honestly, is pretty decent, but I think they're just gonna same old Ottawa story every year where they can just never sneak into the playoffs. But I think it'll be a good race.
I mean, yeah, it's
already a good race.
Yeah, it's a nuts race. It's 6 points for 8 teams.
I'm stressing out over the Red Wings and the Bruins losing every night.
I was about to say there's games every night. If you're a fan of one of those teams in the East, there's games every single night that you can be watching
that you need to care about. Yeah,
it's always important stuff going on.
Yeah, I hate the Red Wings at the moment. Hate him.
Frankie,
good.
checking in on Ovechkin. I haven't been keeping up with his pace, but is he still looking on pace to break the goals record this year?
Dude, 10 goals.
He needs 10 more.
Goals. He is just, he's having an Ovechkin season. He had a bit of a rough season last year, but he's having an Ovechkin season. He's back. He's got 20 games to have 10 goals. I think he's ripping it. I think he absolutely cooks it this season. They are literally, Washington is like comfortably in a playoff spot at the moment. They're feeding him the puck every chance they get. They're giving Ovi the puck. I think Gretzky's going to sit up in like the stands with a sniper at some point, but they get him. But no, I think he's absolutely ripping it, and then some. And then he's breaking the goal record by like a decent bit next year too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the man.
Fair.
I love him. 10 goals, man. I can't wait to watch him do it.
I guess kind of building off the East. I mean, the playoff race isn't as nice or like as fun
as intense in the West.
Yeah, in the West. But I mean, there's a couple teams still fighting. I mean. It's more or less fighting for the 2 spot in the wild card right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Avs are sitting kind of comfortably in that first wild card spot for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. So Calgary, Vancouver, St. Louis, Utah are kind of.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, I mean like I'm counting them out, but like the Ducks are like low-key not far behind. If they go on a bit of a run and like Utah and St. Louis fall off, they could be like up there battling.
That's true, and I mean, like we said, there's 20 games left. So
yeah, exactly. Anything can happen, man. This is like grind time now in the season.
I like how you're just a black screen.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the standings quick.
Oh yeah, you're good.
My bad, my fault.
No, this is why he's an expert.
You're good. You're good.
This is why he's an expert.
Well, I've been having my computer's been running on like PowerPoint frames for the past like half hour. So I was That's like, great. did I lose him again?
That's great. I don't know. Honestly though, back to it. I think I'd love to see Calgary sneak into that spot for Johnny.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Johnny, you gotta
Johnny, and I hope Columbus makes the other wild card spot. That would be poetic, dude.
The Jackets and the Flames.
That would be poetic, dude. I hope that's the Cup final.
The Jackets versus the Flames.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be the best Cup final in like history.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
That'd be historic.
Yeah, and the Canadians got to get the other one too because Patrick Laine.
Dude, you guys lost last night, but you looked phenomenal last night.
Yeah, I mean, playing
like
Edmonton.
I don't know, it's about phenomenal. From what I watched, you guys were fast in overtime. Mike Matheson was skating he was going crazy, dude. He's
the top 3 fastest skater in the league.
Yeah, he cooked McDavid at one point in overtime, and I was like, yo.
Slick Nick caught McDavid too.
He did. No, he had a crazy poke check on his like a 2-on-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was nuts.
Oh, that was Slafkovsky.
Yeah, that too. They all looked great. They were playing a phenomenal defensive game. Monabo stood on his head in overtime, but unfortunately, you can't stop the McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard train when they have open ice.
7 seconds left in overtime.
Brutal, dude. We were sitting there like, oh my god, let's go do a shootout.
So yeah, I mean, so you got your playoff. I guess. What do you? I don't want to ask what your opinions are on who you think is going to get the wild card spot.
Dude, I
know. In the East, it's going to be Columbus and Columbus and New York.
Yeah, I think so.
And then in the West,
listen, I think you guys have a good shot.
Is going to get it based on how teams are playing, or is that just?
Honestly, Calgary. I think Vancouver pulls through. Actually, honestly, Vancouver has looked awful lately. What's his name? Pettersson has been invisible. Like JT Miller has more points since being on the Rangers than Pettersson has shots on goal.
I was about to say them losing JT Miller is a big loss. For
massive.
Vancouver.
I don't think they realize just how like crucial he was to that team dynamic. And Pettersson may not have liked him because he was kind of he's a very straightforward dude who tells it like it is. And Pettersson, honestly, you can see it. Pettersson's kind of just like a whiny dude who shuts down when he's in his own head or doesn't something. Dude, he's like Mika Zibanejad. It's the same thing, dude. It's like he gets in his own head and then he shuts down and stops producing. But they lost JT Miller and he's immediately Mika Zibanejad has had the most points in the NHL since February 1st, since JT Miller's been on his line, and he's been having the worst season of his life, which is saying something, man. The dude is an absolute game changer. like we had 2 back-to-back shutouts. I think the Rangers are gonna. I think they do it. I think they make the spot. I think Vancouver maybe slides into it. I don't think Utah or St. Louis are really that good.
You're not confident in the hockey club?
Yeah, dude, I like them, man. I really do. I took the bet with Bruce, or I took the bet for the year. It was Columbus, Montreal, and Utah to make the playoffs, and I don't think that's going for it.
Oh, you took one at the beginning of the year. That's Columbus, Montreal, and Utah.
It was like 20 games in. Yeah, but, well, that's what I thought the Rangers were going to be like a comfortable second or third in the Metro. Not thinking we were going to be like scrapping it out for a wild card spot. Now I hope I don't. Like, low key, I would take that like $5 hit to my bank account to see the Rangers in the playoffs. Oh man.
Oh man.
No, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun last 20 games of the year. It's gonna be intense.
It's looking like it.
To.
So when exactly does the trade deadline pass, Frankie?
Today's the day. So once
later in the afternoon.
I don't know. It's usually like 3 p.m., 4 p.m.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Any deals that you think might still be on the table that could shock some hockey fans out there? You mentioned Jack Eichel. I don't know how serious.
I don't think Jack Eichel's going anywhere. I think you'd have to give up half of the Rangers roster to Vegas for Jack Eichel. I don't know, man. I think the one you got to be watching out for is a big Mikko Rantanen move. Either Carolina signs him, which I don't think they will, or they trade him and get like a maximum value from him right now. But I think that's the one you got to watch out for. I'm trying to think. Did Shen get traded? Yeah, he did, right? Luke Shen? Pretty sure he did get traded, yeah. Like last night. There were so many last night, I was trying to keep track of forgetting.
I know, there was a lot going on last night.
I was like making lessons and stuff too. It's not conducive to hockey.
But oh yeah, Shen got traded to Pittsburgh.
Right. Which is an interesting move. Pittsburgh's not looking for a playoff spot this year. Took Luke Shen off the table for some playoff teams. But
Jake Evans is off the table for some playoff teams too.
Jake Evans is off the table, but that's okay. You didn't trade him to like a non-playoff team. You guys locked him up.
Yeah, exactly. Got him on a 4-year.
But yeah, watch out for Mikko Rantanen, man. That's the big one. That's the one that's gonna shock again. Like Mikko Rantanen getting traded twice in one season is just ridiculous. Like that's gonna shock the NHL.
All right. Yeah. This is why we ask you the tough questions.
Yes, sir.
You always got the answers for us, Frankie. Bruce, anything else for our hockey aficionado, Mr. Frankie?
No, I think I'm good. I'll see you. I'll see you ripping Fort later.
Yeah, we'll work some duos later.
As always, appreciate the time, Frankie. We'll get you on again soon. Once we get into playoff time. And,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, talk some Stanley Cup.
I love it, dude. I can't wait.
All right, thanks again, Frankie. Peace out,
brother.
Yeah.
As always a good time talking with our boy Frankie Guicciardo, a little NHL hockey. I feel like I learn so much every time we talk to him.
Yeah, dude, he's very knowledgeable.
And like that's what I need because I don't know anything about hockey. So these are the kind of people that I need to talk to. But Bruce, as always, another good show. Always fun doing these with you, my friend. Anything else you want to say to the people before we take off for the weekend, and which we will be back on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. with more of the regular. I think I got to check the calendar, but I should be good for Tuesday at 11 a.m. But if not, you'll see an announcement as for what time and what day we're going live again. But Bruce, anything left to say to the people, my friend?
I appreciate y'all tuning in. We're cooking, we're chefing the sports for the fans of the fans, because we are the fans. So you're the fans of the fans, and we love you.
We do love it here on the Regular Fan Show. Vinny Fredericks, Bruce Juno. We'll be back at it next week. Stay tuned. Check out the socials at Regular Fan Show on Twitter, at the Regular Fan Show on Instagram, TikTok, wherever, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you get the podcast streams from. Be sure to check out Dubby Energy, Dubby.gg. Use code RFS for 10% off your energy drinks at checkout. And yeah. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out Dean in the chat. Shout out everybody on the TikTok that I can't see right now. But once again, thank you to Frankie Guicciardo for joining us. For Bruce Juno, Vinny Fredericks, We'll be back at it next week. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Use code RFS at w.gg and ding the bell.
Ding that bell.
We'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
It's going to be a very delayed exit here because
as we slowly exit.
I'm trying to move my mouse slowly.
We're gonna slowly fade away as Bruce turns us off. Goodbye, everybody.
I clicked it. It's doesn't appear to be working at the moment.
We'll
but,
see. The stream should end soon, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I gotta click another one. Oh, there's the other one. Take care, everybody. Oh.